Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing another haircutting tutorial. This time we're going to be bringing you the classic one length line haircut. However you want to describe it, this haircut is a staple in your salon work, and I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks to make it easier for you. Today's focuses are going to be on your body position, client's head position, how and which type of sectioning to use, and then also which side of the comb we're going to use and how we hold the hair to manage it whilst cutting. I've pre-sectioned the hair down the center of the head from the front hairline all the way into the nape of the neck, and then taken horizontal sections approximately 2 to 3 centimeters in width, and then this is going to be the base where we start our haircut. Sometimes I see this haircut started using a diagonal section, but for me, if I'm cutting a square line, I'm going to use a square section. If I want my line to increase in length towards the front, at that point I'll use the A-line, triangular or diagonal section. You can see I've groomed neatly all of the excess hair using the fine side of the comb, clipped just in front of the ear, and twisted this hair in so it's not on the face of the mannequin and of course in the salon with our clients. I position my body directly behind the mannequin head. I'm tilting the mannequin head forward. If this was a client, it would ensure the trapezius muscle was contracted and tight, and therefore giving me a flat surface to cut my line on. Now, whether I'm cutting a short line or one length haircut or a longer length, the process is the same. I'm going to use the fine side of my comb, combing the hair down, holding the hair in the comb and cutting my line. I'm now going to explain to you the reason I like to use the comb as opposed to my fingers. Commonly when we're teaching classes and we see students combing the hair down, holding it between their fingers, what happens is two things. One, they naturally elevate the hair even if they don't mean to, just because the position of the fingers against the neck or the back makes the hair be elevated away from where it falls naturally. And the second common mistake we see is people twisting their fingers like this to allow them to see the hair. And of course, when we do this, it means that we cut the hair on top shorter than the hair underneath, causing us to have unwanted graduation within our outline. So my method of choice is going to be to comb the hair down, initially using the fine side of the comb. I'm using my scissors to push the hair back into the comb to secure it, and then I'm going to cut my line. I'm closing the scissors and cutting on the outward motion. The sections on the side of the head, I comb slightly backwards to create a squarer line. Repeating the process on the left-hand side of the head, again using the scissors to push the hair back into the comb, and then cutting using the scissors and cutting as the blades close and as they are removed. Before moving on to my next section, I cross-check the left-hand side against the right-hand side to make sure the two lengths are the same, allowing me to move on with confidence, knowing my shape is going to be balanced and perfect. Once I reach the top of the ear, I then move my section from back all the way into the front hairline. So I can use the wide side of the comb, pushing with my finger all the way into the front hairline in one movement, making my section clean, neat, easy to work with, and allowing me to transition between back and front when I'm cutting my outline. And then repeat the process at the back of the head, but this time I'm changing to use the wide side of the comb for slightly less tension. The reason for this is because as the hair on top of the previous section sits over the top, it can cause the hair to bounce up when it's dry. Therefore, if I use too much tension, pulling the hair too tight, it may make there look like there is unwanted graduation in my outline. Therefore, using slightly less tension to allow for the natural movement will work much better for this shape. Once I reach the side of the head and the section on and in front of the ears, I turn my mannequin head to the side. I am cautious about how the hair sits on my client's face, allowing her to be comfortable, tilting the head slightly over to the side away from me, combing the hair down with the wide teeth of the comb, and cutting my square line using the back as the guide. When cutting the section directly over the ear, I often see people pulling the hair tight and then tapping the hair at multiple points to release the tension. To make life easier, simpler and more consistent, and to stop you having to do this, if you just comb the hair using the wide side of the comb, ensuring that no hair is caught behind the ears, there is no need to tap the hair at any point to release tension because we have not placed too much on the hair to begin with. I repeat this process on the right hand side of the head all the way up to the parting, in this case the center, before switching to do the left hand side. The other thing that I'm cautious of here with my client's head position is the chin. I'm making sure the chin is slightly tilted up as opposed to facing down, because I will clearly demonstrate the dangers of the client's head position moving down. If I keep my comb still, hold the hair here, and you tilt forwards, you can clearly see that we will lose excess length in the front hairline. This is not something that we want to do. We want to make sure that this line stays consistent, so keeping the chin position upright is essential. Once complete, I am then going to check the balance of my haircut by standing in the front, ensuring the head position is straight and pulling the hair down between my fingers. In order for you to see, I've just tilted the head back, but if I was doing this on a client, I would keep the head in an upright position. This front area from a previous haircut is shorter, so we're going to leave this area now, blow dry, straighten and check the results. I'm going to begin my blow dry by using a wrap drying technique. This technique can be used with the nozzle on or the nozzle off, depending on the hairdryer you use. And it is simply using the brush in a wrapping motion, wrapping the hair around the head, both clockwise and anti-clockwise, smoothing the hair with the brush whilst heating with the dryer from above, beginning at the roots, working towards the ends. And as I come to the mid-lengths and ends, I'm going to be using what we call a tension drying technique, where we are putting the nozzle onto the dryer, holding the hair in the brush, pulling whilst using the dryer above the head, and therefore smoothing as we go, creating the perfect smooth blow dry with a small turn under at the ends to prevent the hair from kicking out. Once the wrap drying and drying of the root area in this section is complete, I'm going to take my brush to section the hair, starting in the front hairline with a slightly diagonal section to make it easier for me to blow dry and smooth the hair in the direction I want to. I'm going to begin using my tension drying technique through the mid-lengths and ends. Once the hair is almost dry, we can now change to using a round brush if you wish to smooth the hair further before ironing. The blow drying and smoothing with the straighteners is complete. I am now turning my attention to refining my outline. As you can see, there are some small hairs here that need to be removed to strengthen and sharpen the outline. I'm going to show you two techniques to be able to do this effectively. The first is to comb the hair down gently and hold it steady with the comb and use a club cutting technique. This is to be designed to cut off big or large areas of hair that need to be removed. Alternatively, if you are just wanting to refine the hairline, like in this situation with these small hairs, we're using what we would call is a chipping technique. So using the scissors in a small triangular motion, using my finger to hold the scissors steady and just slowly working across the hairline to remove any of the unwanted hair that falls outside of my shape and sharpening the overall look. This can be done as much or as little as you want, depending on the desired result. You can see a significant difference here comparatively to here, and I'm going to continue working in this way around the back of the head before moving onto the side. Now turn the head to the side, ensuring the chin is in an upright position and continuing to work using the same method with my chipping technique to sharpen and refine my line. Thank you guys for watching another episode on my tutorial series of haircuts, this time the one length bob. Like, subscribe and leave in the comments what haircut you guys want to see next week.